Charger Nation, buckle up because things are about to get electric. The countdown is over. In just 24 hours, the Los Angeles Chargers will step up to the podium for pick 22 in the NFL Draft. And fans, this could be a turning point in our journey to greatness. But hey, before we dive into the boldest draft predictions for the Bolts, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss an update on your team. We've got exclusive Chargers content coming your way every week. All right, let's get into it. This draft marks a new era for the Chargers. With Jim Harbaugh taking charge and Joe Ortiz pulling the strings as general manager, fans are right to be fired up. Last year was solid, but now it's about building a team that can contend in 2025. And it starts with this draft. Let's talk bold predictions. First up, what if both top tight ends, Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren, are off the board before pick 22? It's a real possibility. These guys are rising fast, and rumors are swirling that teams like the Jets, Colts, or even the 49ers might jump early to snatch them. If that happens, the Chargers might have to pivot. And that's not a bad thing, because this draft class is deep and there's value across the board. Look, we all want that explosive playmaker. We're all chanting, Loveland, Loveland, at the dinner table. But if he's gone, that just means it's time to get creative. Maybe we go for a defensive weapon. Maybe we stack the trenches. What matters most is that Harbaugh and Ortiz stick to their vision and build a Chargers team that's mean, fast, and playoff ready. Second bold prediction, keep an eye on the quarterbacks. I'm calling it now. 3 QBs will be taken before the Chargers even get their shot. Think about it. Teams like the Giants, Jets, Raiders, and even the Saints are all sniffing around for a signal caller. Guys like Jackson Dart are flying up draft boards. What does that mean for us? Simple. More elite talent at non-QB positions could slip to 22. That's good news. That's opportunity. And that's how contenders are built, by grabbing value when others reach. This draft is going to be wild, unpredictable, emotional. But one thing's for sure, the Chargers are ready to make a splash. Let's keep this rolling, Chargers fans, because things are heating up. With the draft just around the corner, the buzz is real, and so are the predictions. And if things fall the way they might, the Bolts could come away loaded. Let's talk quarterbacks first, because believe it or not, the chaos ahead of the Chargers might just work in their favor. With teams scrambling for a future QB, guys like Jalen Milroe, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and Jackson Dart are all climbing the board. If 3 of them go before pick 22, that's gold for the Chargers. Why? Because it pushes premium talent down the board, right into the Chargers' lap. And here's the thing. The Chargers aren't in panic mode. The roster is strong. There's no gaping hole demanding a desperate reach. Especially at offensive tackle, we're solid there. With Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt holding it down, there's no urgent need to draft another OT. That means we're free to chase value. And that's where things get interesting. Bold prediction. Chargers shock the league by loading up on skill positions. Now that might sound unusual coming from a team known for dominating the trenches. But think about it. Wide receiver, tight end, cornerback, and yes, even running back. Those are where the real needs lie. Sure, the Chargers' defense carried the load last season. Top ranked, a brick wall. But the offense struggled to stay on its feet. If you're looking for a serious leap forward in 2025, it's time to add weapons. Real, game-changing playmakers. Skill positions like wide receiver and tight end are stacked deep this year. We're talking day 2 steals, future starters just waiting to be picked. Running back? Quietly deep. And don't forget corner. If we're planning for long-term dominance, depth, there is a must. Now here's where it gets really bold. Prediction. Chargers go defense in round 1. Yep, you heard that right. Even with all the skill talent available, this might be the year the Bolts go back to their roots with a hard-hitting, game-wrecking defensive pick at number 22nd, keep your eyes on names like Kenneth Grant, an absolute monster who could plug in day one. The fit is perfect, the talent, undeniable. Don't be surprised if his name's called. Other defenders to watch? Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, Jamar Stewart. These guys don't just fill needs, they add firepower to a defense that's already among the NFL's best. And at edge rusher, you've got talent like Donovan Azaraku and Mike Green, both of whom could be part of the post-Khalil Mack era. Bottom line, don't expect a safe, predictable draft from the Chargers. Expect fireworks. Here's the truth, Chargers fans. We're entering a draft that could shape the next decade of football in LA, and every round has fireworks waiting to explode. Let's kick things off with a name to remember, Jalen Braxton. Now, is he a consensus top 15 prospect? That depends on who you ask, but for the Chargers, he might be something even better, the perfect fit. A defensive back who can roam from the slot, drop into high safety, line up on the outside. Braxton is that Swiss Army knife that this secondary could thrive on. Think Derwin James, but with even more alignment flexibility. And hey, don't rule out someone like Will Johnson either. If the Michigan cornerback slides to 22, the Chargers would have a hard time saying no. In fact, don't be shocked if this draft brings another hard-hitting, versatile DB to the Bolts. Even someone like Malachi Starks, despite safety not being the most pressing need, could fit beautifully into a defense that values toughness and movement. Bottom line, the best player available at pick 22 might just wear a defensive jersey, and that might just be the smartest move. Bold prediction. Chargers target a running back on day 2. We've been saying it for months. The 2025 RB class is loaded. Not just good, not just deep. Loaded. This group might produce 5 of the league's top 10 rushers over the next few years. That's how special this crop is. And if there's a round where magic happens, it's round 2 or 3. That's the sweet spot. That's where the Chargers need to pounce. A few names that scream perfect fit. Quinshon Judkins. Tough, fast, elusive. A do-it-all back who can be the RB1 for the next 5 years. Caleb Johnson, a power runner with burst who could thrive in a physical Chargers offense. Tre'Veyon Henderson, explosive. Home run potential every time he touches the ball. Cam Scatterbo, bruiser with underrated vision and pass catching. Dylan Sampson, sleek and slippery. Think change of pace weapon. Even guys like DJ Giddens or RJ Harvey in round 3, total steals. This draft gives the Chargers a rare chance to secure the future of their run game, not just patch a hole. It's a deep board, and if the Bolts play it right, they walk away with a difference maker. Another bold prediction. Chargers trade up on day 3 for a wide receiver. Look, day 3 is unpredictable, but every year, someone slides who shouldn't. The Chargers are sitting on a stockpile of 6th-round picks, ammunition to move up and grab a weapon. Don't be surprised if LA gets aggressive early on day 3, jumping into the 4th or 5th to snatch a guy they've had circled for months. Someone will fall. It happens every year. Names to watch? Trey Harris. If he drops, he's gone quick. Smooth, explosive, ready to contribute. Kyle Williams. Polarizing, but with the Chargers, he'd be a nightmare in the slot. Separation machine. Tez Johnson. If he slips into day 3, the Chargers need to sprint to the podium. With so many mid-round picks, the front office has flexibility. Don't expect them to sit back. If there's a guy they love, they'll go get him. Let's talk big receivers, and I mean physically big. This wide receiver class is deeper than it gets credit for, especially in the middle rounds. The Chargers? Sitting on capital, and if there's a moment to strike for a perimeter threat, it's on day 3. Names like Torrey Horton, Colorado State, or Pat Bryant are the kind of guys who don't wow in headlines, but quietly become QB favorites. Long, strong, and dependable. Exactly what Justin Herbert needs to balance the route-running precision of the WR room. And then there's Dante Thornton, a 6'5" matchup nightmare with breakaway speed who hasn't scratched the surface of his potential. Don't be surprised if the Chargers pull the trigger and move up for one of these guys. They don't need 10 wideouts. They need one outside presence who can grow into a real role. Last year, they struck gold with Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart. 2 mid-round picks. 2 instant contributors. So why not run it back? It's not about replacing starters. It's about building depth and staying ahead of the curve. The NFL's passing game isn't slowing down, and you need bodies who can handle man coverage on the outside. Look at these fits. Kobe Bryant and Mello Dotson. Long, fast, physical corners who can stick on the perimeter. Jason Marshall Jr., Florida standout with tools to develop into a legit starter. Jacob Parrish, a high-motor nickel who could lock down the slot alongside Still. Noah Williams, big, raw, and exactly the kind of mold Jesse Minter knows how to shape. With the way the Chargers are building their secondary, 6 deep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity, especially with Minter's scheme demanding versatility and physicality on the back end. Shock prediction. The Chargers miss on tight end and make a big swing ready for a curveball. If the draft doesn't go their way at tight end, the Chargers might be eyeing a massive move, trading for Mark Andrews. Now hold on. Don't roll your eyes just yet. There's smoke around the Ravens being non-committal about Andrews' future. And the Chargers? They've been sniffing around tight end solutions for months. Say the board doesn't line up, Colston Loveland goes too early, and none of the second-tier guys like Jatavion Sanders, Terrence Ferguson, or Elijah Arroyo fall into place. Suddenly, the fallback plan might include a phone call to Baltimore. Would it cost a day 2 or early day 3 pick? Probably. Would it be worth it? Absolutely. Herbert to Andrews would instantly become one of the most dangerous quarterback-tight end combos in the league. It's a bold contingency, but it's not fantasy. This isn't just hopeful, it's calculated confidence. The Chargers are walking into the 2025 NFL Draft with 10 picks and a front office that's locked in. That kind of ammunition? It's rare, and it's powerful. Under Jim Harbaugh, this team nailed the draft last year. 3 rookies, Joe Alt, Ladd McConkey, and Tarheeb Still, walked in, claimed their roles, and helped the Chargers win 11 games. No slow ramps, no redshirt years. Instant impact. Now, the opportunity's there to do it again. With Harbaugh's deep familiarity with college prospects and Joe Hortiz already showing he knows how to scout high-floor talent, expect the Chargers to walk out of this draft with at least 3 rookies ready to contribute immediately. If they go defensive line early, there's a real shot at getting a plug-and-play disruptor like Walter Nolan, an explosive interior presence who lives in the backfield. If they target running back on day 2, someone like Quinshon Judkins could immediately carry the load and bring the physicality that perfectly fits a Harbaugh-led offense. Tight end, edge rusher, wide receiver, there are quality starters available in every round this year. The Chargers just need to connect the dots. This isn't just optimism, it's a realistic projection. When a team holds premium draft capital, has clarity in their system, and a coach who helped shape these very players in college, you better believe they're not walking away empty-handed. Draft vision, not just prediction. Forget the mock draft shuffle. What matters is fit, philosophy, and floor. This draft isn't about gambling on unicorns. It's about stacking reliable, competitive football players who can start now. Harbaugh doesn't want placeholders. He wants violent blockers, relentless defenders, and receivers who can break press at the line. Here's what that could look like in action. Round 1. A tone-setting defensive lineman like Walter Nolan, who gives you power and penetration from day 1. Round 2. A backfield workhorse like Judkins, who runs with controlled fury and can catch out of the backfield. Round 3 or 4. A physical tight end or edge who can rotate early and become a full-time contributor by mid-season. When you have 10 darts and this kind of organizational alignment, you're not aiming to build for the future. You're building a Week 1 lineup. 3 starters, 10 picks, 1 goal, win now. The Chargers aren't rebuilding, they're reloading. And with this kind of draft class, expect more than just flashes from rookies. Expect starters, Chargers' final draft vision, building depth, speed, and grit. Let's get real. This Chargers draft isn't just about landing stars. It's about stacking the roster with tough, smart, high-upside football players who fit Jim Harbaugh's identity. They're not just drafting to fill holes, they're drafting to build a bully. Round 4. Edge Intensity with Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer is the kind of edge rusher that doesn't just rotate, he competes. Quick off the snap, violent with his hands, and tested against elite competition. He's a classic Harbaugh guy, dependable, disruptive, and willing to scrap for every down. Round 5. Gunnar Helm brings grit to tight end. Tight end depth? Solved. Helm can block, catch, and absorb contact without flinching. He's not flashy, but he's exactly the type of tight end that moves chains and bulldozes linebackers. A total fit in the run-first, play-action-heavy vision Harbaugh is installing. Round 5. Pat Bryant, physical wide receiver, no nonsense. The Chargers finally address wide receiver, and they hit it big. Pat Bryant is strong, unafraid over the middle, and knows how to block. In a WR room that needs more toughness, Bryant could step in immediately and help reshape the unit's identity. Round 6. Speed, size, and upside. This round, all about depth and swing-for-the-fences athleticism. Zay Frazier, CB, long, explosive, and sticky in coverage. Raw, but the tools? Real. Jake Majors, IOL, polished, technically sound, and can anchor against power. Adds versatility at center and guard. Denzel Burke, CB, another Ohio State product with top-tier zone instincts and starting potential. Chargers double dip at corner, and it's a smart move. Round 6, pick 4, depth with purpose. They add one more foundational piece, Teddy Buchanan, LB. Physical, rangy, and aware. He's not a flash pick, but you'll see him making special teams plays right away, and possibly pushing for time on defense by midseason. Round 7, final brick in the wall. Instead of chasing name value, the Chargers wrap the draft with a smart selection. Joshua Gray, G. Reliable, experienced, and built for inside zone. This is the kind of pick that doesn't make headlines, but wins games in December when injuries hit. Final word. This draft screams Chargers DNA. It's not flashy, it's not Twitter hyped, but this Chargers draft is all substance. It's about adding tough, versatile guys who will compete immediately, fit into the system cleanly, bring long-term value. Names like Walter Nolan, Quinshon Judkins, Jack Sawyer, and Denzel Burke give you the spine of a future contender. The rest? Smart layering, depth that matters. And that's how you build a roster from top to bottom.